What's up, guys? Going to be taking a little walk around an area I have not been down yet. This is right around the corner from our apartment. Normally we go back the other way to go to like Sasamaki or get to Luke's house. But today we're going to go down this road, see where it leads, go on an adventure, because that's what it's all about. If this is your first time to the channel, I want to say welcome. I hope you enjoy it. If you're a returning viewer, thank you again for watching. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to share it on all your social media if you think it would benefit people you might know. Also keep in mind that I do weekly exclusive videos called Sunday Stuff with Dave. Bet you can't guess what day they come out on. Sundays! Every Sunday, a brand new video covering different topics here in depth, more in depth than I do here on the public channel. We'll cover all aspects about living in Cambodia and things that might be on your mind, because you're free to participate. My next one on Sunday is going to have to do with banking and money over here and how all that works. And a week from Sunday, I've had requests for people talking about driver's licenses, prices of motorbikes, dealerships, and things like that. So that's coming up too. I'm collecting a bunch of ideas from you guys. So if you want to get in on that and receive my at least once weekly exclusive videos, it's really easy. All you have to do is donate at the links down below. I have PayPal, buymeacoffee.com/DDC, or join my Patreon. If you do any of those things, I'll have your email address. I'll put your name on the list, and you'll start receiving them beginning Sunday. Yeah, cow. I think they were just saying hi. Got some cows over here. Anyway, I want to say thank you to everybody that does help support me. It really means a lot. You do a lot of good work here. You help keep the wheels a-turning. And this is a new month. I want to see if we can get $500 in donation. That would be amazing. That's only 50 people giving 10 bucks each. That would be very, very awesome. We have some things coming up, and I'm not going to say why just now, but there are a couple things I'm looking at that I want to purchase pretty soon. Not expensive things, not like laptops or fancy cameras or anything like that. Just some things. First, I have to check about the availability of those things here in Cambodia. I've done some basic Googling to look for them, and so far no success, but I'm going to keep looking to see if they are here. I love my supporters. I want to thank you guys for doing it. It really does mean a lot. So feel free to donate at any of the links down below. Get on that list to receive my exclusive videos. But today I do want to talk about the good and bad of different kinds of apartments here in Cambodia. In case you don't know, if you're planning on moving here longer term, finding an apartment is, as I've always said, really the last thing you should worry about. It's very, very easy here. A lot of places right now don't even require a security deposit, or sometimes they only require a half of a month security deposit. And the availability is all over town. Any area you want to live, there are apartments. Now the average price for a more Western style apartment is like 150 to 200 bucks. That's about what people pay. And there are tons of those everywhere. So I think the main thing you want to focus on is location. But that's not the only thing. I mean, sure, you want to find a place where you can be comfortable, an area you like. If you're a city person, get one in the center of town where all the action is. Everything's really, really close. Shopping and all your needs. You don't have to travel that far or look too much to find all the basics. You do have to realize that in areas that have a high rate of foreigners living there and other expats, that those places are probably going to be a little more expensive. Like if you're paying $150 for a nice, pretty spacious studio apartment, you know, you could find one on a little bit, still in Siem Reap, but a little bit away from the city, you know, 3-4 kilometers away, that you could probably get for $100 or less. So what you want to do is pick an area that you're going to feel comfortable. Are you more comfortable in like a country-like setting, like you're seeing here? This is, as you can see, not a lot of traffic. Very very green, very lush. You don't see a lot of noise or a lot of cars or vendors or anything. Or do you feel more comfortable like in a bigger type of city with all the hustle and bustle and cars going by? That will be up to you. But there's another consideration. Like sometimes you move, you'll see apartments that are really inexpensive. I'm talking studio apartment, $50 to $80 a month. Very good deal. A lot of them have everything you can need. They come with a wardrobe or a closet. You know, you got a bathroom, got a little kitchen area, you got a big bed. Sometimes they come with a table, little refrigerator. You know, and some of them come with a aircon. You probably won't get free Wi-Fi with those, like in the more expensive apartments, but Wi-Fi here can be had for anywhere from $15 to $40 a month, depending on the speed you want and which company you use and all that good stuff. But the issue is that even though that sounds great, and it is great, I live in a place right now like that. It's only $60. The last apartment I had was only $50. I've lived in a $100 apartment, and I lived in a $180 a month apartment. And they all have their pros and cons. If you're going to be spending a lot of time inside, you might want to pay more money for a little bigger apartment. Because in a smaller apartment, if you're not going to go outside much, the walls can close in on you. You can start feeling a little claustrophobic. And might go get a little case of cabin fever. And nobody wants that. You want to enjoy your time here, whether it's inside or outside. However, if like me, you like to go out all the time, basically my apartment I use for resting, watching TVs, I put my videos together, go home to eat, a place to put my stuff and to sleep. So for me, it doesn't matter if it's I don't need a lot of room. I don't have a lot of stuff. So if I had a really big place, and sometimes people always say you need to move into a bigger place, and I don't really. There's a bigger space means a lot of empty space, and I don't have anything to fill that empty space, so I don't see the need. But like I said, everybody's different, so that would be your determination. But the issue with some of the smaller apartments is that they're not very well regulated. Like you don't have access to you might not have access to your own electrical box, which means you have to rely on what somebody else tells you is your electricity charge for the month, which they will add to the rent. A lot of times they don't even give you receipts, so you have no recourse. If they say, well, you didn't pay last month, but you know you paid last month without a receipt, you know, you're kind of, you're not going to win that battle. Let's put it that way. And sometimes, well, the only issue I've had since we moved into the apartment we're in now, we had a fan on the wall that oscillated, and we used it quite a bit, except when we left the house. Of course, we turned it off, but we used it. And one day, and this has happened before too, man, them wall fans, them little cheap wall fans are not very good, because this is like the second time this has happened in 2 different apartments. But all of a sudden it started making a loud noise, and then something broke. The blades went forward. They were still spinning, of course, because it was on. It broke the front cover off the fan. The blade snapped in half, and everything went shooting across the room. And it makes a horrible loud sound when that happens. And then the fan just, because of gravity, of course, fell off the wall and hit the floor. Poof! Unplugged itself when it did that, because it was plugged in, of course. So we took it. I took it outside, went and got the landlord, explained what happened the best I could. She explained what happened in Khmer for him, and he gave us another small little table light fan that we could use and position wherever we want. Those usually work best anyway. But now this month I was like, why do we owe this much money? Because the electric's not that much, the water's not that much. I know how much the rent is. And they gave her a piece of paper. They gave Senglai a piece of paper with stuff written down in Khmer with numbers by it. And come to find out, they were trying to charge us $30 for that fan. And that's not happening, because yes, the fan broke, but I didn't break the fan. Nobody there broke the fan. The lady was trying to say that we must have reached up and ripped it off the wall, which is insane. Oh. So yeah, the fan did break, but we did not break the fan. And we explained to them what happened, I mean, like a couple minutes after it happened. And now they're trying to charge us $30 extra for the fan, which I'm not going to pay. So if I didn't break it, I ain't buying it. But that does cause some tension sometimes, because her and Senglai now just kind of glare at each other sometimes. They got into a big yelling match about it outside. And I was like, oh boy. So yeah, there are some caveats with living in a local place. Things you might want to watch out for, so be sure to check all those things out before you sign a lease or give them money to move in. Make sure you know who's responsible for what if something breaks or something happens. Make sure you can read your electric meter yourself, so you can write down at the beginning of the month what the numbers are, and at the end of the month what the numbers are. And it's going to be about 25 cents per kilowatt hour, so you can do the math on that and see if they're trying to overcharge you, because it will happen occasionally. I mean, most of the landlords we've had have been pretty cool, very on point, no problems, but and even the ones that you can't see your own meter, I'm not saying they're all going to try to rip you off, but just try to be a little focused. Get the lay of the land before you just find one and go, yeah, I'll take it, because there are plenty of apartments around. So pick one that you're going to like, and pick an area you don't mind staying at. Now, on the other hand, the more expensive ones usually come with amenities. You can sometimes get a swimming pool, a big refrigerator, a couple of aircon units, sometimes even a pool, which is always nice, especially in those that are in the main part of town. You have all them stores and everything available to you. But the downside with that, like I said, is that for the same price that you're paying for that, you could rent an apartment a little bit further away for, you know, maybe half of that. Maybe a little bit. More than half, but a significant savings. But the closer you are to the city center, the more amenities your apartment has, the more money you're going to pay. They say things like, hey, our apartment has a free pool you can use, they have a free gym, you're getting free Wi-Fi. And technically, what they mean is that's included in your rent, but it's certainly not free. The tenants are all paying for that. It's just the price that's included in the rent, which is why it's a little bit more expensive, or sometimes a lot more expensive to live in places like that. But I know there's a lot of people that worry about getting an apartment. They always say, when I get there, I mean, should I get a guest house first for a month? Should I stay in a hotel? And I always say, that's a good idea for the first maybe couple days. You know, find something cheap for a couple days. Allow yourself to get over the jet lag, get yourself acclimated a little bit, and then just take a day. Find an area you like. Look at all the different apartments. If you see an apartment, knock on a door. Most of the time they'll let you in to look at the apartment, tell you how much everything is. And I mean, you can find an apartment and be moved in within a day here. Very easy to do. They don't need your credit check. Like I said, some places don't even require a deposit. Some might, but not all of them. So all you have to do, if you got the cash, you can move in. Some places might have a lease. Some places might just be month to month. Again, that's something to discuss with the landlords, because there is no overall in cement, written in stone. If you're paying this much, it's going to have a lease, it's going to have an aircon, it's going to have this or that. It varies so widely that you can't really say anything definitely. But one thing I can say definitely, as I've just said, you will not have an issue finding the apartment if you got the money. Move right in. All right. That's going to do it for this little walk. I hope it helped you guys somewhat. I know it may all sound like a confusing mumbo jumbo, but once you get here and you realize, okay, yeah. I mean, if you want to, you don't want to wait a couple days, you could fly in. If you fly in here in the morning, if your flight lands here, let's say 9 o'clock a.m., by 5 o'clock, you could have your own apartment without worrying about a guest house or a hotel. If that's something you feel like after a long flight. Oh, and speaking of guest houses and hotels, yes, I do recommend booking in advance, simply because most places, if you're staying there, will pick you up at the airport. That's going to save you on a tuk-tuk fee. You know, if you've got a place 2 nights or whatever, usually they'll pick you up right at the airport. You'll communicate with the owner, let them know what time your flight gets in. They'll be there waiting for you with your name on a sign. But let's say you don't do that. You come in cold. You don't have a place to stay. You don't know where you're going to stay for the first couple nights. Again, no problem. Get a tuk-tuk. Give them $3. You'll take it to the town, center of town. Get out, walk around until you find one. They are everywhere. And, yeah. Trust me, housing is not an issue over here. If you got the money, you'll have a place to stay. And of course, Let me know your plans once the country starts opening up. Like I said, starting in October, it's a 3-phase plan. So when it's your country's time and you're going to come over here, keep me up to date on your stuff. If you're a supporter of mine, you have my email address. Send me the information and I will do what I can to help you out once you get here. Show you around. Tell me what you need as far as an apartment goes, and I'll find you as close of a match as I can for the price that you want. All right. That'll do it for this one. Once again, thank you to all my supporters. I love you guys. I really appreciate you. And it's a new month, so let's get that donation train rolling today. Let's get some things done. Also, I'm working on something, like I said. I'm not going to say anything now until I know if I can get supplies, but that extra money would really help if I find them. Hello. Hello. The kids never say hello all at once. They go, one starts and then the other one's chirping afterwards. But anyway, I really appreciate it. Again, I will always say that. And I love you guys. And if you haven't, okay. Okay. And if you haven't donated yet, when you do, I'll send you, the first time, I'll send you a copy of my book. I will send you a thank you email, welcoming you. And then you'll start receiving all my weekly exclusive videos. Links to my PayPal are down below, buymeacoffee.com/DDC, and my Patreon. Also, down below are links to other channels vlogging in Cambodia. Definitely check them out. You'll find interesting, fascinating things there. All my social media is down below. Also, links to my other channel and individually to my books, including Live in Cambodia, a guide for living in the Kingdom of Wonder. You can buy that individually if you wish. All right. Hope you guys stay safe. I hope you're doing well. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't, and share the video with friends and family. Or just strangers on the internet. Whatever your preference. All right, I'll talk to you guys in the next one.